Good morning, comrade.
Hello again, it's Aviator Joe. Last month I was looking for an opportunity for an overnight trip that was about 2 hours away. Before I became a sport pilot in 2012, I used to fly RC airplanes, so I was a member of the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Their headquarters and museum are in Muncie, Indiana. A little quality time on SkyVector showed that it would be just under 2 hours. I also had a good range of alternate airports along the way. So, after checking in with the FBO, Muncie Aviation Company, and securing a crew vehicle, I was ready to go.
Mansfield Tower 634 Hotel Bravo is ready for departure on 32.
Light 464 Hotel Bravo, Mansfield Tower, left turn out to the west approved, runway 32, wind 360 at 8, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff on 32, turn to the left for 260, approved. 634 Hotel Bravo, we're moving.
Before we continue, please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified of new videos. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. I took off at 7:45, turned my vector to 265, and saw that the clouds that were over the airport were now in my path.
Let's see how messy this gets.
They varied from between scattered to mostly overcast with a few holes. They were too close to climb over. I estimated that they were about 2,000 feet. I had to fly just under them at about 1,600 feet or so. I would have to be vigilant with towers. The good news is the ground gets lower as I went west, so I would be getting more breathing room altitude-wise the further I went.
I'm gonna have to remain below this. That's the fly in the ointment.
Though I was a good 500 feet below the deck, I did come close to the wispy bottoms of a few outliers. It certainly looked very unreal to me, but the mild turbulence let me know that it certainly was real.
It looks like it clears out later.
As I cleared the cloud layer, I could see that there was another one in front of me. I decided it was time to climb to 4,500 since I had enough room for a cruise climb of about 400 feet per minute, and that altitude would definitely put me over the cloud layer.
It's certainly starting to smooth out a bit at 25, which is good and expected.
The turbulence subsided at 2,800 feet, and I reached 4,500 before the layer.
Oh, this is weird. I haven't been up this high in a plane, well, that I was flying.
380 is coming up for Philip.
329005 Bravo.
In over a decade.
Runway 36, Parkland.
All right, we're getting close here. I will let Debbie do some flying in a bit.
The cloud layer had a small section that was almost solid, but at that height I could glide in either direction to clear it. I let Debbie Dinon fly from that point on. It was a great cruise. Not a lot of traffic to track, but the ones I did track, I never saw visually, always unnerving. I was a third of the way when I passed my first waypoint, Hardin County Airport. I announced my position to all the nearby airports. Amazingly, or maybe not, all those airports were on the official CTAP party line frequency of 122.8. A few minutes past Hardin, I flew over a wind farm. Unlike my Van Wert trip, these monstrosities were at least earning their keep. South of my path, I flew past a popular resort spot, Indian Lake. Almost 2/3 into the cruise, my next waypoint was Neil Armstrong Airport. The first time I was here was when Neil died, and I flew from Columbus and did a touch and go as a personal tribute. Here is Grand Lake, another popular vacation spot. I spent a week there with my family in 2023 and had a great time. On the southwest corner of the lake is Lakefield Airport. Had I owned the little red rocket back then, I would have definitely flown there. When I reached this wind farm, I knew it was time to start descending and prepare for landing. As I approached Muncie, I scrolled the map to the airport and noticed there was a stadium TFR that was not on SkyVector. It covered a good section of the southern runways. Since Delaware County Regional was a towered field, I figured they would know about a TFR covering half their runways. I was busy preparing for landing, so I didn't look at the details of the EFR.
I'm going to go here by this water.
Since it was mid-morning, it was unlikely that the TFR was active anyway.
Muncie Tower, Light Sport 64 Hotel Bravo is midfield, right downwind for 03.
Light 44 Hotel Bravo, send downwind, you'll be number 2 following Cessna Skyhawk traffic, approximately 2 miles, final report on site.
Second in line, we're looking for the traffic, 64 Hotel Bravo.
I was cleared for a right downwind. There was a Cessna on final, and I did finally see him when he was about a mile away from the threshold.
Muncie Tower 64 Hotel Bravo has traffic. 64 Hotel Bravo.
Light 44 Hotel Bravo, number 2, runway 3, clear for the option.
I don't like, I'm a little sloppy here, but we're back.
It was bumpy, and I kept the approach on the high side for a while.
Tower, Cessna 6252 Delta, 10 miles south, with Delta landing Muncie.
Cessna 6252 Delta, Muncie Tower, set up for a straight in approach correction, set up for a right base for runway 0 true, report 5 miles.
Right base 03, report 5 miles, Cessna 6252 Delta.
41 Mike Kilo, Muncie ground, you ready to copy? 41 Mike Kilo, you cleared to Lima Oscar Zulu Airport via filed, maintain 3000, expect flight level 210, minutes after departure. Departure frequency will be Indianapolis approach 120.65, squawk 4521. Mike Kilo, readback is correct, advise ready for taxi, information Delta's current.
That was pretty good.
The landing was very good. I was happy.
Flight 44 to 4 Hotel Bravo, continue down the runway, turn right on Alpha taxiway for the FBO.
Continue on runway and turning right Alpha for FBO, 634 Hotel Bravo. That wasn't terrible.
Cessna 44 Whiskey, runway 0 tree, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, runway 03, 2544 Whiskey.
I turned off runway A and I was marshaled in by Sherman, who I spoke to earlier in the week. He loved the Little Red Rocket, by the way. Sherman directed me to the crew car, which turned out to be red, just like the rocket. Look for part 2 of my Muncie trip, which will cover the AMA Museum, an interesting discovery, and the trip back. As always, thanks for watching and happy landings.